This is the Iowa Weather Report for Tuesday, May 6, 2014. And now our first look at the 0Z GFS model run. This is at 1 p.m. this afternoon. We have a trough digging in across California and Nevada. Bit of a ridge trying to pump itself up over the middle part of the country. But around here we'll still have some partly to mostly sunny skies with readings a little bit warmer than yesterday. Highs in the 60s to lower to middle 70s from northeast to south and west. We could see some late day showers in our southwestern counties. That's with a warm front that's going to be coming through late tonight and into early on Wednesday. And this could bring us some showers and thunderstorms during the overnight into the morning hours. But then during the day on Wednesday, it's a bit questionable of what's going to happen. We'll have some sunny skies around, but the Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk of severe weather for Wednesday. This includes all but the far southeastern counties of the state. This goes into Wisconsin, Minnesota, down into Nebraska, and along the Plain states. When we take a look at the probabilities here, you can see it's the standard 15% risk across the area. So we're not sure if they mean it's in the morning. They're kind of hinting at the morning and nothing in the afternoon, but we're going to take a look at some parameters to see why we're a little bit concerned. As you can see here, this is the lifted index along with the dew points. This is at 7 p.m. on Wednesday. The lifted index, anything in red is considered fairly unstable, and we have some readings in the -7, -8 range. Dew points in the 60s and 70s. Taking a look at the Cape, that purple area in south central Iowa is 4,000 joules per kilogram, but we have some cap. It's a strong cap. Some moderate cap could weaken, and we could see maybe some storms form. This is the supercell composite, all at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, and it's peaking over around Des Moines, where it's up above 10 to about 15, and fairly high numbers across the state. And then when we take a look, this at the NAM, we saw the GFS. Now this is the NAM. It shows Cape levels roughly about the same, 3,500 to 4,000 joules roughly. And the cap, about moderately strong. And it also shows the supercell composite index a little bit lower, down around 7 to 10 in southeast and south central Iowa, and on down to the south and west. And then when we take a look at like the energy helicity index, this is at 7 p.m. on Wednesday. This comes off the NAM. We see some levels around 2 to 2.5 in south central Iowa. This is significant. Anything over 1 is considered significant. And then when we go into Thursday, the low pressure center, according to the GFS, is going to be somewhere in northeastern Nebraska or southeastern South Dakota, with a cold front dragging south along with a dry line. This could spark some more showers and thunderstorms, and the Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk of severe weather for Wednesday. Or Thursday, I mean. This is mainly for areas from about Duluth and Wausau, Wisconsin, across all but far western Iowa, down into Oklahoma and Texas. We take a look at the probabilities. We have a 30% area from about Des Moines to Kansas City to Wichita to Oklahoma City, and we have the enhanced hatched area of significant severe weather that goes all the way from Duluth and Brainerd, Minnesota, down through Iowa into Missouri and Kansas and northeastern Oklahoma. But when we take a look at the parameters here, you can see we still have some an unstable atmosphere. The lifted index level's a little bit lower. The dew point's still in the 60s across the area, so it's not as impressive as it will be on Wednesday. And you can also see these are the Cape levels. These are both from the GFS. The Cape levels are much lower. We only have some Cape levels around 1,000 to 1,500 joules, but we have no cap. So there's a difference between Wednesday and Thursday. But when we take a look at the supercell composite index, we only have just areas above 4 and a little area in southern Minnesota above 7, and some higher numbers down around the Red River Valley of Oklahoma and Texas around 4 as well. Then as Friday comes in, the storm is moving away. We could see some early day showers in the eastern counties, otherwise slowly clearing, and highs back down from the 80s to near 90 on Wednesday, back into the 60s to near 70 here on Friday. Saturday starts out partly to mostly sunny, but we could see some increased clouds as another storm approaches from the west, and this could bring us some rainfall, some showers and thunderstorms Saturday night. End of the day on Sunday, likely we'll see temperatures in the 60s to lower 70s both Saturday and Sunday. Sunday looks to be rather wet. I wouldn't think it's going to be an all-day rain for Mother's Day, but we'll have to wait and see. and monitor the situation. Then as we go into the new work week here on Monday, we still have an unsettled pattern around, a couple of showers around, no real big system around as most of the rain is off to our east. And then as we go a week from today, you can still see a trough digging in with some energy just to the east of the state, a bit of a northwesterly flow aloft. And that could bring some cooler temperatures down with a ridge pumping up over the desert southwest. And we'll still see some unsettled weather with some showery weather, maybe highs in the 60s, and a couple of showers and thunderstorms to our south as well, and along the Gulf Coast and along the eastern seaboard with the advancing cold front. Going into the extended period on May the 17th, a trough over the east, a ridge over the southern Rockies, and a trough digging across some energy moving into the Oregon and Northern California coast. And if this is right, we could see some cooler air around, maybe highs a couple degrees below average, with a frontal system off to our south and east, producing some showers in the Great Lakes in New England and also across the mid-south into the central and southern plains. And at the end of the forecast on May the 21st, we have some energy moving through the Dakotas and Nebraska, and a bit of a split flow, the northern jet stream well off into Canada, the subtropical jet stream to our south. And with this type of pattern, we'll have a system coming at us with some showers, maybe some thunderstorms. The Gulf looks to be open, so this could be a severe weather setup, but this is still more than 2 weeks out, and it's likely to change in the coming days and coming model runs. The satellite image from last evening, you see the next storm system coming in from the west, producing some clouds, some showers, some very high elevation snow as well. Elsewhere across the country, it was fairly quiet outside some thunderstorms in the mid-Atlantic. The watch warning map from last evening, we had some frost advisories across lower Michigan, some red flag warnings across Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, westward into New Mexico and Arizona, some winter weather advisories in Nevada and along the Sierra Nevadas in California. The QPF chart, precipitation over the next 5 days through Saturday evening at 7 o'clock, showing rainfall amounts across the state anywhere between about 3/4 of an inch and 1.5 inches. Some isolated heavier totals will be higher than that. Heaviest will be across western Nebraska and across the south and into Texas.